First, let's talk about tonight's game. To finish the season, you know you look forward to finishing strong, but the wheels kind of came off early.
Yeah, well, this is really the last 3 weeks have been tough. We've had 4 ball games this year: the Central Arkansas, the Lamar, the Southeastern, and the Sam Houston. Those 4 games were really the games where you could see where we were not in the ball game. At some point in time, the first half, we lost the ability to match it. In every other game, we were in a position where at halftime, the game ended the third quarter in a competitive environment. We did lose a couple of those games, by some margin that we felt like we could have been better. But, when you look at some of the last 3 weeks more, after really a great win against Nichols, most people did think we would win a Southland game. I mean, listen, I know it. People did think we'd win a Southland game this year, and not that winning 1 and finishing next to last was our goal, but we won our first Southland game this year. We're going to get better. We're going to win more. But the last 3 weeks were really tough. We just got to a point injury-wise where you don't go out there and broadcast all the kids hurt in the program, but we really. Some of the answers that people might think, well, man, just make a tackle or cover that guy. Well, we have some guys that are so banged up that either they're not playing full speed or they're playing out of position because we're not able to play guys that have took most of the snaps. And we've run out of players the last few weeks. But you know what? You finish what you start. And even though we weren't competitive these last 3 ball games, our kids didn't quit fighting. They didn't quit playing hard, and that's a culture that we would expect our kids to do, but it's important to be able to finish a game hard.
Depth is a part of that. And when you lose guys now you've been dependent on a regular basis and you get down to the 3rd and 4th at that position, that's when it gets rough for you, especially late in the season when the grind that you all had, going through Stephen Ave, going through Sam Houston, teams that have been, like you said, been established, been around for a while.
Teams, Yeah, I think, anytime you have guys that are used to playing postseason and you're lining up playing them, they're used to that game, or they're used to their season getting into December. And so that maturity to be able to handle the grind of the year is something that your kids culturally have to learn to embrace. With so many of our young kids, this was a long grind for them. Without much depth, they're having to play so many snaps. They're having to do a lot of things that made this year a tough deal with that. And, it probably didn't help us not have an open date, playing straight through. We never got a point where he got healed up. But, that's what makes football a tough man's game.
Yeah.
And I don't apologize. At the end of the day, we expect our guys to line up and be tough. And there's no excuses. We didn't get it done, but I do know that recruiting has a way. We'll go out and we'll pretty much recruit an entire positional class. And so, we're at that point still where I have enough scholarships, that I can go out there and sign about 24, 25 guys that will give us one more complete class, so that we'll have 3 complete classes to play with. And that'll help our depth, significantly. And we got good young players, and the future's bright for these kids. You just got to get them where their heart and their bodies are healthy and let them play again.
You just mentioned and segued into a subject I was going to get maturity, but getting guys that can help you late in the season. And I know transferring to JUCOs is a way of going about that. Will it be it'll be most likely a balance between the 2, high school and blending that group together to where some maturity will at those positions, especially offensive line and all, where those guys take a beating pretty much. Yeah. In the trenches, it's won and lost there, but it also can extend you.
Right. But one of the things there, when you build a program from scratch, that early on, the first year or 2, the locker room, the culture that you create and build, it is going to have a lasting impression not only on football on this campus, for the person outside the locker room walls to say that's what football looks like here. That's what the type of man is representing our school. Mm-hmm. And so having people of character, guys that can walk around this campus and be respected, that's important in terms of building support, building a fan base that guys will want to support your program. I think on the other hand, you've got to recruit good players that can line up and be competitive. I think the road we've been in with these first two classes that we recruit, 9 out of 10 kids have been freshman kids. Mm-hmm. We felt like it was really important to build a nucleus of young players. And you take some lumps early on. I mean, it's tough. And next year we'll be a very young team. We'll be, a lot of sophomores, but we'll be more mature sophomores, haven't played. And so I'm still of the belief that we'll build our program based on high school kids. But we are going to look at there's 4 or 5 positional areas where we think an older JC kid at this point in time can help us quickly narrow the gap between what we're playing with and what we need to get at. And so we've got some of those positional areas very much identified. We've already gotten down the road quite a bit. I think we spent 6 hours as a staff here at the end of the week, yesterday specifically, working on looking at about 70 kids on tape. And I'd say probably about a quarter of those were JC kids. So, I've got 3 coaches going out to California next week, looking at some JC kids out there. We have a coach will be in Mississippi, and of course the Texas JCs and Oklahoma JCs. So we're looking for about those 4 or 5 kids that we think can really make a difference immediately. But at the core of what we're doing it with high school kids, and we're doing it with Texas high school kids, and it's the best football state. They have the best football players in the country in this. And at the end of the day, we're going to hitch our wagon to this state, and I believe the high school coaches in this state produce the best players, and so just give us a chance to grow these kids up, and we'll be fine.
The other thing, you played at home this season. You didn't travel around other than just on the road to play a game. How gratifying was that to step out that first game, and now he had the last home game, to just see that all in front of you and the guys actually responding? Because every time I've interviewed one of the guys, they've all talked about campus life is totally different now.
It is. I mean, I think we're seeing in a good way, not that football is the tail that wags the dog. I think we're seeing football is having an impact on this college campus. There is more buzz about kids excited about being a Husky than ever before. And it's not that other sports teams can't create that excitement.
I understand.
But you know what? In this state, football is special.
Yep.
And when the ball is kicked off, it changes a campus, be it a high school campus, be it a college campus. And, we just want to make sure that our kids in our program represent our school in such a way that this campus would say, you know what, that's my team. And I love watching them play. Maybe they don't win every ball game, but you know what, that's my team, and I'm excited to go be a part of that program. And, and we're a family here, and it's not just a bunch of football guys out there working, trying to, produce a product on the field for people to enjoy. We want to be a program that people experience the passion and love for representing HBU in a good way.
Well, Coach, is there anything that you can think of that I hadn't asked over the season, or something that I missed?
Little brother will grow up, and when he grows up, he's going to be a big old bad dude.
That'll work for me.
Dogs up.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Good season. Reintroduce yourself, and we'll close this out.
Hey, I'm Vic Shealy. I'm the head football coach here at HBU.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, buddy.